All right, this is going to be my reaction video to the Jaguars 20-16 win over the Titans on Saturday night. Pretty cool game. I was able to sit up and watch. I don't normally get to watch games that don't involve the Ravens. This one was fun to watch. I think it really revealed a lot about both teams, a lot of positives. I understand that Josh Dobbs had two important turnovers. The Jaguars defense and the Titans defense really just dominated the last, I'd say 26, 27 minutes of the game, somewhere in that area. But really revealed, I think, the depth of the Jaguars roster. I understand that the Titans, when they decided to bring pressure, bring five, play man free, that they really did take the receivers out of the game. They took a lot of things away from the Jaguars that I thought the Jaguars kind of kept banging their head up against the wall to try to execute. And I'm talking about bootleg plays from under center. I'm going to let some pictures run with some stats. I will talk about some possessions. I will show possession breakdown. If this is your first time watching one of my game reaction videos, I will show a possession breakdown. It'll look like this. I'll show it up, post it up just briefly. It'll look like that. Down, distance, personnel grouping, formation, run, pass, play, concept, and then result all the way to the right with some notes, generally in there. That's a series or possession breakdown for, I think, the Titans' third possession. But we'll come back to that, let some pictures run, show some stats. What I normally do is read off my notes from halftime. I thought the game changed drastically. Somewhere, I think after the Titans take a 16-10 lead with about 10 minutes left in the third quarter, I think that's the timestamp there. The game changed. The defenses really started to take over. The defenses had answers. There was like 4 3-and-outs in a row. I think the Titans defense itself forced 3 3-and-outs in a row. There were situations you could tell where the Titans changed gears. They started to run some option stuff with Josh Dobbs late. You could tell where they understood that the Jags had some, quote, answers for Derrick Henry in the run game. And Henry, look, he had a huge impact. And he had a big run, I think like a 42-yard run, something like that. Maybe it was bigger than that, called back for a really undisciplined hold on Okonkwo, who you see there catching the touchdown pass against Aluakin. My notes from the first half were, generally focused on the Jaguars, to be honest with you. But neither team was able to score on the first possession. Titans didn't get the run game established. Jaguars didn't get anything established on their first possession. Nearly went for it on a 4th and 1. They faked the motion twice and then took the penalty. Titans' second possession, 10-minute drive. They only took a 3-0 lead. There was a very weird play call here on a 3rd and 15. I would say it was a desperate call, to be honest with you, which is kind of crazy because I look at the Titans as a very well-coached team, hard-nosed and very tough. 3rd and 15 from the Jaguars 31, second possession, like I said. In this possession, you had runs of 10, 7, and 9 by Henry. You had 2 4th-down conversions on the same series and a bunch of plays to the right flats. They were clearly attacking the right flats early. This 3rd and 15, they run a Z under to Treylon Burks, meaning he's the outside receiver, runs an under route. And the other two receivers, the inside receivers, number 2 and number 3 receivers, they run some type of vertical or clear out or rub concept to ensure that he's open. And then there's a lateral that's attempted to the other side of the field. I've never seen that before. I've never seen in that situation, second drive of the game. You see it late in games when you're way backed up, your own 30 or whatever. This was very weird. The Titans had taken the air out of the ball with that drive. And I thought really taking a lot of the air out of the stadium, it seemed like to me. Really weird lateral. You would like for Burks to hold on to that. I did not think that Burks looked great on contested catches tonight. That play, you would want him to hold on to, but he's coached to do that. The running back lined up on the opposite side, ended up being a forward pass, a loss of down. Titans get a 51-yard field goal for a 3-1 lead, 3-0 lead. But it's kind of like, why risk that, if you ask me? Jaguars' second possession was amazing and then ended in the turnover. Got the ball on their own 28. The run game, we only had one real positive run there, I think, was a 7-yard run by Etienne. Then they had runs of 1, -1, and 3. Became pretty obvious they weren't going to be able to run the ball. They got a 1st and 10 at the 22 of the Titans. And they run the speed option reverse flip to, I think, Agnew, but I might be wrong. It might not have been Agnew. That's a really questionable call to me. You've driven down, you've driven down the field. I think it was a 12-play drive. Maybe it was 10. It was either 10 or 12-play drive. They did convert a 3rd and 13. They also converted a 3rd and 7. So don't get me wrong. It's not like they just blew down the field in 6, 8, 10-yard chunks. But they're clearly in field goal position, and they give up points. I thought that was important. The Titans' 3rd possession, they go down. They take a 10-0 lead. I'm going to show the drive breakdown for that again here. So they got the ball on their own 31 after that turnover, I believe. I could be wrong there. And they immediately run a fake reverse and then a screen to Henry for 19. It was really funny to me, really weird. The Jaguars had just turned the ball over on an actual reverse. The pitch was high and a little, too directly at the face mask, I thought, of Agnew. And then the Titans come back with a screen off of a fake reverse. Pretty cool. Completions to Hooper over the middle and the right side were big all game. I thought he played really well. Stretch to Henry to the left side. I didn't think that Trayvon Walker was on this play, this 2nd and 7. It's the 6th play down for you guys. Hopefully you can see it well. This 2nd and 7, I didn't think that Trayvon Walker was on the field here because, look, when Trayvon Walker was dealing with tight ends, he was dominant tonight. Against tight ends, run concepts, even the left tackle, he stood him up multiple times. I thought Trayvon Walker showed a lot of ability. I might do a film study on him from this game. And then this beautifully designed play that puts the Titans up 10-0 late in the second quarter. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line, 21 personnel. That's the 3rd column. Under center slot I, and Okonkwo is an offset fullback. And he's a tight end. He's drafted as a tight end. But he played tight end, fullback, H-back for Maryland in college. Most of these tight ends are cross-trained on those things. That's why you don't see a lot of fullbacks nowadays, and people say, oh, you don't need a fullback. Well, yeah, you do. The Titans use tight ends to play fullbacks. They're giving themselves a +1 on the roster, and Okonkwo is one of those versatile guys can do it. And he beat Foye Lukin, who's a great player, on a wheel route. Tough cover. A great throw, I thought. You guys see a picture of it right here. So puts them up 10-0. And then the Jags are able to answer. Good for them. They're able to answer with a 25-yard touchdown pass to Kirk. Here's a drive breakdown here. Down 10-0, 5:32 left in the half. The air had been taken out of the stadium. The Titans had controlled this first half, absent that drive where the Jaguars turned it over on their second possession. You did have Etienne, and really showed, I think, the versatility of Ingram, the tight end. I know that they referred to him as essentially a receiver. The first play, this 1st and 10 from the 50 midfield. It's a big return by Agnew, 54 yards, I think. I think he took it out of the end zone. First play was a diamond formation, so the quarterback is in the shotgun or pistol. One guy set behind him, that's the tailback, and then one guy to his right and to his left, hence the name diamond. There's split flow. Ingram comes from the other side, loops around to the right. Etienne only got 5 yards. Maybe he got a little more. And then the very next play, there's a completion to Ingram right to left to get the first down for 6 yards. It was a tough catch, I believe. He had another catch for a 10-yard gain on 3rd and 6 here. I thought this possession really showed what he's capable of. And then the beautiful find on the deep over climb concept, Yankee, whatever people want to call it. Kirk lines up tight to the right. So he's lined up to the offense's right, originating from the 25-yard line. And he runs the deep over concept. And I think it was Zay Jones on the left-hand side. Runs a little bit of a clear-out route, but kind of like a skinny post deeper down the field. Just clears out that left side of the field. Kirk is pretty much wide open, I thought. To me, it looked like the owner, they showed him just before that play. It looked like he was asleep, or maybe he was praying. Maybe he was praying that they got a score or something like that. But in any case, it was a funny moment for me. I thought, you see the notes that I wrote down. These are notes that I write down live. Was the owner asleep? A great play. Jaguars were able to get an answer. Cut the deficit to 10-7. The Titans' next possession, the 4th possession, I thought was huge. The Jaguars had gained momentum, and there's a short kickoff return to about the 27. And look, and I have the drive summary for this one too that I'll show in a moment. This was big. Titans are able to go down, get a field goal with 6 seconds left to push it to 13-7. And they completed 2 passes to Hooper on this drive. I think both of which were one of which was against Aluakin on the right side on a 3rd and 9. Here's the drive summary. Here's a drive summary here. This 3rd and 9, which is the 4th play down for you guys, from the negative 33, 155 left. The personnel grouping, that's the third column, really, but I have the timestamp between there. Whenever there's a timeout called, I usually put, or a stoppage, I usually put the timestamp there. And they go 11 personnel twin slot B. Hooper runs an out route against a Lewican, beats him. It was decent coverage. I didn't think he was like absolutely wide open, but he beat him. And huge gain, 10-yard gain to get him a first down. Then 4 plays later, Hooper gets another catch in between the linebackers for 14. That 3rd and 9 completion I thought was tremendous because it allowed the Titans to, continue to possess the ball. It allowed them to go down and get a field goal, right? It also kept the Jaguars from getting the ball, meaning the Jags got the ball to start the 3rd quarter. And if they had gotten the ball there with 155 left or 150 left, presumably, let's say after an incompletion, they have a chance to double up, score at the end of the 2nd quarter. I think this was a 6-point swing for real in the favor of the Titans. And that's why I think it was so difficult for the Jags to come back and win, because of this possession, helped them get a 13-10 lead at the half and prevented the Jags from doubling up. That's the benefit of getting a stop with 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever left in the 2nd quarter when you're getting the ball back to start the 3rd, is that it's short time at the end of the 2nd quarter, so you can kind of fire away, depending on the amount of time left, hopefully get a score, and then put the other team, on their heels because you're getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Titans prevented that. Dobbs playing well to this point. Both offenses, for real, playing well to this point. My notes at halftime, were I thought that this was a 6-point swing. Potentially even more, if the Jags were able to go down and get a touchdown to end that 2nd quarter. They had 3 timeouts left at that point. Maybe it was 2, and would have got the ball back, to start the 3rd quarter. So I thought with the Jaguars not being able to run the ball consistently and rely on any run concepts, especially on first down, that field goal by the Titans really was going to make things difficult for the Jags. But I'll be honest with you, I was not predicting mentally what the defenses did in the 3rd and 4th quarter. I did not think that was going to occur for real. I would have thought that the teams would have kept going. Now look, in the 4th or 3rd quarter, the Jaguars' 4th possession. This is the opening possession of the 3rd quarter. Long possession. This is the one where I think Trevor Lawrence misses Zay Jones wide open in the end zone. Now, later on in the game, as the game progressed, I thought the Titans, mid-3rd quarter, maybe late, maybe it was on this possession, started to bring more pressure. But that throw, even though I think there was a little bit of pressure on Lawrence, the pressure got dialed up later on. The pressure got dialed up by the Titans, and Lawrence started to have to make throws under heavy duress. And Troy Aikman, who was obviously a Hall of Fame quarterback, won 3 Super Bowls, has high standards, and as we all should. But I thought a couple of them was kind of like, hey, man, there's a D tackle within a step and a half of him as he's in his throwing motion. It's not an easy thing to do. In some cases, I thought it was the bootleg plays were terrible by the Jags. But let's return back to this 4th possession. They convert a 3rd and 1 on a quarterback sneak. That's the 3rd play down from the top on your screen, hopefully. They also convert a 3rd and 7. Jags seem to really like these high-low concepts. Now, this particular high-low concept on the 3rd and 7, which I think is the 8th or 9th play down for you, it's from the 49. Completion on an out. There was an out to Kirk, and then a drag from the other side of the field. So it's a high-low concept where they're, then it ended up being man, I believe. And Kirk makes the catch for a 17-yard gain. Next play, 21-yard gain to Marvin Jones. Then incomplete in the end zone. Zay Jones complete short. The 3rd and 7, clearly an overthrow by Lawrence. There was pressure, but at least it closed to 13-10. And the Jaguars' offense still looked like they were able to move the ball. And then suddenly, Titans go down, take a 16-10 lead, and the offenses just get shut off. Just shut off. There was a really weird penalty as well on the Titans' 5th possession. When they took the 16-10 lead, there was a weird DPI or a penalty on a 2nd and 5. The Titans went to this Superman Wildcat. Dobbs motioned out of the backfield. Dobbs, the quarterback, motioned out of the backfield. And a little credit to the Titans, like third string quarterback, a lot of guys on the offensive line out. Defense played tough. They lost 6 in a row. Came in there, gave a good accounting of themselves in a tough environment. So credit to the Titans. As a Ravens fan, dating back to 2019, there's a lot of animosity, of course, because of the way the Titans came in and won and the things they said and the way they celebrated, and then the way they celebrated in the 2020 regular season win over the Ravens, which, of course, was avenged in the playoffs. Point being, that's a tough football team. They have the right mentality for football, and they were able to stay close. But this 5th possession, really weird. 2nd and 5. Superman, Wildcat pass, whatever, faking the run with Henry and him throwing it. Josh Allen, who played a hell of a game, and a D tackle are there. They very easily could have forced a fumble on Henry. He still throws the ball. I never saw a ref announce the penalty. I haven't looked at the game flow yet, to be honest with you. It was a weird call. Henry was fortunate not to fumble on forcing that throw. And look, Dobbs later completed a 3rd and 10 pass to Robert Woods on a late developing dig, and the Titans were able to go up 16-10 on a 41-yard field goal, like 6 minutes left in the third quarter. At that point, the offenses are scoring. They're scoring points, and that just entirely got shut off by both sides. I'm gonna try to scroll. I'm scrolling back on my other screen right now to go back and look at the drive summaries. I'm not going to read them all out to you. So, 16-10, Titans. Jaguars get the ball after an interception by Tyson Campbell. Pretty bad throw by Dobbs, but Arden Key was there on a QB pressure, and I thought he even made contact with his hand. I think the decision to throw was bad. That's the part that I don't like. It's a 3rd and 17, negative 13-yard line. I thought Troy Aikman identified it correctly. I'm not one of those that likes to give credit to announcers for real because I don't really like NFL announcers most of the time. But 3rd and 17, bad decision. So gives the Jaguars the ball on their 6th possession from the 25-yard line. The Titans 25. Snag flat, complete to Zay Jones. Etienne short run on 2nd and 5. I thought at that point they should just abandon the run. I thought it looked obvious they were not capable of blocking the Titans up front. 3rd and 3, there is pressure. Kirk was on a delay route versus man. Beat Roger McCreary, the rookie from Penn State, beat him very badly. But Simmons, 98, got pressure. And it was like during a sequence where I don't think the Jaguars got a first down on 3 straight possessions. So they cut it to 16-13 on the interception and then the field goal. 16-13. Early fourth quarter. So we got 15 minutes of football left, and you still think that points are going to be scored. Well, it was wrong. I mean, no one scored except for the defense. Titans 7th possession. 3 plays, punt. Trayvon Walker was badass on this possession. He had a tackle for loss on a run. Devin Lloyd was there as well, kind of apexed out wide, I thought. Lined up wider than he normally is. Walker with a tackle for loss on a 2nd and 5. Then Walker, 1 versus the left tackle, forced Dobbs to step up. I can't remember maybe it was Walker on that sack, I guess I should say. Agnew gets a 22-yard return or something like that on the ensuing punt. So the Jaguars' 7th possession starts from the Titans. Jaguars' 7th possession starts from their own 43, so they're around midfield. Nothing. 3 and out. Couldn't get anything going. A screen, no one open. Then I thought Trevor Lawrence yelled kill. I think they had 2 plays called, motioned from left to right. I think it was Ingram motioning left to right, and he checked out of the pass play and ran a sweep into the boundary to the left with Hasty. Nothing there, 3 yards. And then DN Weaver knocked down Lawrence's pass on a 3rd and 7, so 3 and out. They punt. Titans get it inside the 10, negative 6-yard line, I should say. Nearly get the first down on a 3rd and 12. Another 2 badass plays by Walker on this possession. A D-tackle Peters for the Jaguars, a longtime vet, I believe, like maybe a 10, 12-yard veteran or something like that. Got credit for the tackle, but Walker forced it inside. He did a great job. He dominates tight ends, like I said earlier. And then I thought he did it again On the next play, I thought he got pressure I thought he beat the left tackle. Josh Allen was also closing in the end zone, and Dobbs threw it incomplete, out of bounds to the right. Completion to Woods for 11 yards, 4th and 1, -14. Titans punter who got a lot of love during the game. Horrible punt, I thought. I thought it was a horrible punt. I thought it hit at like 33 yards and then rolled another 18. He got a 51-yard punt out of it, but very, very unique to me. Jaguars' 8th possession was over before it started. Sacked by the D tackle for an 8-yard loss. On 1st and 10, so creates a 2nd and 18. One play later, 3rd and 10. Overthrow to Marvin Jones out of bounds, but it was a 5-man rush, and I thought Lawrence was hit pretty much as he threw. I didn't apply as much blame to Lawrence as Aikman did there, so they had to punt. Again, rolled down to the 10. And then this is the Titans' 9th possession, originating from the -10, their own 10-yard line. 16-13 lead, 8 minutes left in the game. They convert a 3rd and 3 on a completion to the running back when Chad Muma missed a tackle. Interesting that the Jaguars are using so many inside linebackers. Aluakin plays the whole game. Muma, Devin Lloyd, I saw them both on the field. And then 42, whose name always escapes me. Good player. Played well against the Ravens, I thought. But the Titans converted a 3rd and 3. Completion to Ward, the running back. Broke the tackle by Muma. Henry for 9. Almost got the first down, or at least I thought he did, actually. A 3rd and 1, Dobbs QB sneak, where the tight end fullback pushes him forward. And then the 3rd and 6, where Josh Allen gets the... Rayshawn Jenkins, gets the strip sack. And Josh Allen, who looked like he had dropped into coverage in the right flats, one hop, picks it up perfectly in time. Touchdown, return, fumble recovery for a touchdown. Great play. Rayshawn Jenkins balling. Played extremely well against the Cowboys, obviously. I think it was the Cowboys. Maybe it was a different team. I'm sorry. 3 weeks ago, he had like 18 tackles. This one, strip sack, forced fumble. Josh Allen picks it up, clean, turns it into a 2016 lead. I mean, really, at this point, there's 2:51 left, and I'm just not sure how the Titans are going to be able to penetrate the Jags' defense. And it turns out they could not. Look, they came out running option. The first play of their 10th possession, 2:51 left, ball originating from their own 25, negative 25-yard line. They run pistol option. Dobbs keeps it, 10 yards. Henry left side, 9 yards. Completion to the tight end, 6 yards. And you're like, oh, wow. 2 minutes left, and they're at midfield. And the Jaguars come up big. Josh Allen with a strip sack on a 2nd and 7. Oh, first, Aluakin, great play on an option keeper. This I thought was an important play. 1st and 10 from the 50. And they line up in twin slot A-gun. So the tight end and the running back are on the same side to the offense's right, which was Henry, the running back. And Dobbs keeps it. So it's an option keeper. I think presumably read the D end. Aluakin folds over the top, so it's a gap exchange. Runs with Dobbs, 3-yard gain into the boundary. Left side of the defense, right side of the offense. 1:55 left, 2nd and 7. Passing situation, obviously, at this point. Josh Allen strip sack off the right side. Negative 5 yards. 3rd and 12. False start. Titans are self-destructing. 3rd and 17. The Jags decide to bring 4-man rush next 2 times. I think this roster revealed itself to be deep because so many guys I've mentioned to you on the defensive side of the ball. And I have, pretty good knowledge of it, to be real, because the Ravens went there and the Jaguars defense competed. I understand that the Ravens still had a lead in the 4th quarter and the Jaguars offense was what gets a lot of credit. I get that. But the Jaguars defense was able to make stops in that game and show the talent level that they had. I think they have a tremendous amount of talent on the defensive side of the ball. Arden Key, Josh Allen, who you see pictured there, Trayvon Walker played well. The defensive tackles, 2 or 3 of them played well in the interior. Foye Aluakin did what he does, which is ball out. I did not think Muma or Devin Lloyd played well consistently, for real. Muma was in on a number of tackles early, don't get me wrong. I had him in on 3 or 4 tackles in the first 2 or 3 possessions, so I think he was active. I didn't think him and Devin Lloyd played with a lot of force. I'm glad that they're rotating those guys on some level, get them reps. But I thought the front defensive line and outside linebackers is what really won this game for the Jaguars. Putting pressure on Dobbs in passing situations, stopping the run, slowing down the run. Don't get me wrong, Henry did damage. I mean, he clearly did damage. You can see here, 30 carries for 109 yards, but it was 3.6 per carry. Hopefully you guys can see that. That font is really small. My apologies. 3.6 per carry. Other than Henry, the next, I mean, the other guys who contributed offensively was Okonkwo, the rookie, with a 21-yard touchdown catch against Aluakin. Woods had 4 catches on 5 targets. Austin Hooper, but it seemed like the Titans were struggling to find anything consistent in terms of who they could trust. They clearly trust Derrick Henry, and you would too. Christian Kirk played a great game, 6 catches, 99 yards. I thought Lawrence did miss a couple of throws. Aikman, identified that correctly, but there was a lot of pressure. As you look at this game, if they're the type of person who watches L22 and the end zone angle, it looked like the pressure got dialed up mid-third quarter on, and the Jags O-line had a lot of trouble. And that's going to create problems for the quarterback. So I don't think that Trevor Lawrence played as bad as other people are probably going to credit him with, for real. Run game non-existent. 14 rushes, 19 carries. But defense, flipped the script. They win the AFC South, and they get a home football game in the playoffs. Could be interesting. I don't know what the possible scenarios are, for real, about who could end up going there. I would suspect it would not be the Ravens. It seems like they're kind of, predestined to go to Cincinnati 2 weeks in a row. Unless they win this week, which, it's a low percent chance that they do with the number of players that they're probably not going to put on the field. But interesting game for me to watch. A lot of fun, for real. Very competitive. Great game, even though I know that Dobbs had, I know he had 2 turnovers. He had the fumble loss. He had the interception. I thought he gave the Titans a chance to play. I don't know what's going on there with Malik Willis, but it's interesting to me that they didn't put Willis in these situations lately to let him get some reps, let him get some experience and opportunity. I'm not sure what that says about their trust level in him. It may just be they want to protect him from, the fronts and things that he's going to see. Dobbs seemed to handle it well. 20 of 29, only 179 yards passing. Lawrence, low passing numbers as well, 212. Defenses took over. Interesting to see, because that is not what I was expecting. I was expecting the Jaguars to get in that, passing mode. But they were so one-dimensional, I thought the Titans could kind of sit there and dictate when and where they wanted to bring 4 versus bring 5 and take the ball out of Lawrence's hands, get the ball out of his hands a little bit too soon. Great win. If you're a Jaguars fan, Titans fan, let me know what you think of the reaction video. My first one doing on these 2 teams, non-Ravens teams. It was fun to be able to watch it, have all my work done for the week concerning the content that I normally create for the Ravens. Appreciate you guys' time. Let me know what you think of the reaction video. If you enjoyed it at all, please let me know and or consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys' time. And if you really like this video, consider sharing the reaction video link somewhere on social media to help increase its reach.